So, the first season of Thanos Invasion has come to a close, and I feel like some conversations were inspired today. We were talking in Alliance chat of our overall feelings, and right before this game mode came out, there was some pretty prevalent attrition that happened where people left the game in like droves. A lot of people. But with this game mode, it was an interesting thing. I brought it up in Alliance chat and I said, when this game mode first came out, I gave it a 7.5 on the first day, and I played it a lot. As time went on, I realized I became a little bit less interested in playing it, and I dropped it a score, and I said I give it a 6.5 now, where it lost a little bit of the fun, grinding it every day. But then something kind of happened where over time we started to do this more on Discord. We started to kind of rally. Now, I didn't go back and clean up any of my old scores through 1 through 4. Most of my grinding was just through 5. And the only reason was I just wanted to see how well I could do in that specific difficulty. And I didn't want to go in and dial up in the rest of those other ones simply because I was going to start bumping people out. I finished at like 11th, and if I had progressed further, I was going to decrease the rewards of alliance mates, people I'm friends with beyond that. And I just thought, well, what am I doing that for? So I'm only going to push the top one. And as time went on, after playing this throughout the week, I started to notice that there was some desire to play this, and overall it was increasing how much I liked the game somehow, some way. So for me to take my score and decrease it from a 7.5 to a 6.5 on a scale of 1 to 10, you would think, well, that's not great. Well, over time, I think this is a 7. I did have fun, and the interesting thing, we were talking in Alliance chat, was that some people came back to the game when they saw me getting one shot, and it was that they were interested because it looked like it was just a universally challenging game mode with the one-shot mechanics, that it was just something, you learn the fight, you get good at it, and you try to master it. And that's what a lot of people were trying to do. They would get in Discord. And I don't think that this is going to be the last time we're going to see this specific one, but it would be pretty cool that over time, if they came out with maybe 7 different ones, that they could make these daily instead of like once every month or 2 months or however long. I'm unsure when the next time we're going to see Thanos Invasion is, but I feel pretty strongly we're going to see it again because it was pretty fun. And when I say fun, even though a 7 isn't anything crazy, let's just look at everything collectively here. And that is it more fun than Blitz? Obviously. Is it more fun than Most Wanted? Obviously. Is it more fun than Spec Ops? Yes. Is it more fun than Battle Challenge? Battle Challenge could be more fun, but you play Battle Challenge, it's almost not a fair sig. So yes, overall, it's more fun because you can play it every day, and you do get some enjoyment out of the challenge of trying to get your score up. Raids aren't really all that fun either. Moving on to Arena, is it more fun than Omega War? Depends who you ask. Some people, like myself, do like Omega War. It is fun. But Invasion, kind of, it's a conversation, interestingly enough. Which one do you like more? Do you like Invasion over Omega War? Dimensional Duel, I've never really been someone that's been super into Dimensional Duel. So it's just, and Dark Zone, the main reason I like Dark Zone is because of the fellowship I have with the Alliance mates and talking in Discord. It's kind of a social hour, and literally, it's playing the game with friends. That's why it's so enjoyable. And I feel like the elements of Invasion for us, in some extreme cases. Now, I did plenty of pickup groups. I even soloed the mode a handful of times too, just to try to master it on my own. But yeah, I feel like it's overall it's one of the most fun game modes. And interestingly enough, it seems as though there's going to be lots of different variations of this. And that is that this next one, Epic Invasion: The Eternals. In the 1013 update, Thanos threatened Omega Flight with his malicious desire to conquer the primary Earth. After thorough preparations, it seems that we managed to put a stop to Thanos' invasion, and for a time, peace was restored. Once again, we're facing a whole new threat. Omega Flight is calling for all heroes from primary Earth to the next epic invasion with the Eternals. You will be joining forces with Icarus, Athena, Circe, and Gilgamesh to finish their eternal battle against the Deviants. So this is going to be an Eternals themed epic invasion. Who knows? This might actually be more fun than Epic Invasion with Thanos, and maybe this is something that by the end of it could be an 8 or a 9. Maybe it's not as fun. Maybe they screw it up. For some reason, though, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like PvE is making a comeback in this game, and it is the thing that's bringing people back. A lot of people that we lost, I will say about half of the people that we lost through the attrition that I was speaking of earlier, about half of them came back. And as the conversation went on in Alliance chat, it is agreed upon that a lot of that was influenced by Invasion, interestingly enough. And I don't feel like Invasion just crushed it in terms of, is it the most fun thing ever? No, but it's fun enough that it supplements the whole game overall to a point to where the game with its addition became more fun. And I feel like that's an interesting thing to talk about. Now, that's just my perspective, and maybe you really, really loved Invasion. Maybe you didn't like it at all. But this is a comment in our chat here. Invasion really did flip a switch back in me, too. Surprised it managed to do that. We should try to min-max Tony for this title next time we set up for Thanos. Diversify our titles to make... yeah, it's interesting that... I was actually probably halfway into this. No, maybe closer to the end. I actually did finally roll PvE cards because of this game mode. Previous to this, I felt like rolling up PvE cards was a waste of time. I thought, well, I can get away with just making my my PvP build as OP as possible, so it will also reflect in PvE because it wasn't necessary. It didn't make sense to spend twice as many resources to build up a completely new set of gear, badges, everything in order to compete in PvE. And so I was never inclined to do so because I thought mathematically it just didn't make sense, because none of the PvE stuff was that interesting or anything that I would have to involve mechanics to where I would care enough or find it smart to build a PvE set, considering where my PvP set lied, especially because I was running Rise of the East. And running special gear like that, it's some of the stuff is weighted so heavily, it kind of didn't make sense to then also level a completely new set of PvE gear, because the PvP stuff worked so well that it translated into PvE on some level. At the end of the day, will this bring some of the old players back? And will it kind of... I don't know that the game ever really needed saving. It's just I feel like people became kind of impatient with the process. But I do believe that these guys are proactive and this game isn't going anywhere. And I do feel like with this coming and after the results, judging the results that we had with Thanos Invasion and then this coming, I do feel like it's the jump off for things to come, and that PvE is going to be more and more fun over time. One thing, a couple criticisms though. I don't think that they should have gated the difficulty you wanted to do behind a power requirement. I feel like that was a bad move, and it was probably the most widely I mean, you guys know what I'm trying to say here. It was the one thing that people were most put off by, and I can understand that. You should be able to participate in that game mode, no matter what no matter what your power is. If you wanted to try it, if you want to see if you could be carried, and another thing is that stats are greater than your overall power. So your power shouldn't be taken into consideration, because in some cases people had to gimp themselves to qualify for being able to go into level 5. But I will say that these guys do seem like they listen to feedback, and potentially I could foresee them making adjustments based on that feedback. That we didn't like that. It feels unnecessary, and I do think that one of these invasions should be something where there is waves of things and you try to survive as long as you can, so we can get Captain America to have a game mode where he thrives and becomes a necessary component, unlike how, like, there were specific characters in this game mode for Epic Invasion with Thanos that stood out. Characters like Iron Man, Storm, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and the lesser characters that aren't being played as much. Now, I don't know if you guys had a different experience, but it just seemed like more of the same, where we were seeing a lot of the high DPS characters at the top of the leaderboards. And I feel like if they did have some sort of like swarm survival thing, Captain America would be able to would be leaned in quite a bit more, and that's I'd love to see that, more of an RPG thing. And another thing that kind of bugged me was that they did label this as, they did use the word dungeon. I don't know that they used the word dungeon crawl. I'm not going to go back to the original post when they said that this is going to come out, but this was not that at all. And I do feel like this game still needs that, and I would absolutely love if this game had a legit dungeon crawl, and this was definitely not a dungeon crawl. Was it still enjoyable? Yes, I still had a good time. Wasn't a perfect game mode, but it did make me like the game more, and it solidified that I'm definitely not going anywhere personally, and it was kind of cool to see some familiar faces come back to the game. I'm very curious where this goes, what this is involved with, and I hope they knock it out of the park. It looks like PvE is here to stay, and I think that it is important that we give them some of our feedback, the things that we liked and didn't like and would like to see in the future. So a legit dungeon crawl and a legit survival mode are my own asks. Those are some things that I would personally like to see. So let me know what you guys thought of this event, things you liked, didn't like, if overall you're happy with the game, if this inspired you to come back and try it. If you're still checked out, that's fine. I obviously get it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.